Welcome to the Become Sensible podcast, where we discuss practical accounting, finance, and tax for everyday business. I'm your host, Fiona, and I'm here to show you that no matter what your business financial situation is, you can change it. Good morning. Welcome back to the podcast Become Sensible, where we discuss all things about entrepreneur business, finance, and tax. Today, we talk about a very typical case for one of our new clients, and they want to scale their business, but they have so many overwhelming things that they need to take care to scale the business in a proper way. And so, therefore, I welcome back my co-host on.
Hello, everyone. It's always great to be back. Yeah, I'm just going to give some background onto our client for today. We're looking at a consulting firm, and they're bringing in around $600K annually.
Yes.
So they've already looked into hiring new crew as well as implementing new technology as well.
Yeah.
But at this point, they're struggling to kind of handle everything just because I feel like they're growing a little bit faster than they anticipated. So what would you say is the first step that they should be taking?
Yeah. So when we start a business, there's so many things that you build as you go because there's no way that you have everything together at the same time. But I always say that when you scale the business, you need to take care of a solid foundation. It's like you build a house. You need to have everything on the ground. The foundation needs to be firm to build the next layer of your house. It's the same way that if you do with the business.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think part of laying a foundation is you kind of have to understand your business as well.
Yeah.
So what would you say are some key metrics that a business owner should be familiar with in order to start laying that foundation for their business?
Yeah, so I think a couple of things in the business. Number one is your product and service, what you try to solve the solution for a specific customer or clients. Number two is how you bring your product and service to the markets that depends on marketing and sale.
Mm-hmm.
Sale to convert those potential client or customer into your paid clients or customer. And then number three is the back end of the business is how in terms of financial and accounting, whether you have a financial report, how to read the data, how to interpret your financial report, whether it's say about whether you go into the right direction or not in terms of finance.
Right.
And then the number four is operational. How you have the team to deliver the work that you already sold or the product you already sold, deliver it to the clients so that your business keep going with it. And then after that is in terms of human resource, in terms of technologies that help you to make more efficiency and make the work that you deliver faster.
Right.
And so I think that is the foundation. But in terms of finance and accounting, we always can think about number one is need to have a financial report.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of companies out there doing the business without actually have a real financial report. So number one, need to have a financial report first. Then after that, read the financial report to understand, okay, what is saying. If you don't know how to interpret the meaning of the financial report, you need to have a professional to help you to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But need to understand the financial report, what is saying about your business. Number three is have some metrics. For example, cash flow projection, how much that you need to have in the bank to keep the operational. And then what is your profitability? What is your debt to income ratio? Which is how much you need to pay in terms of monthly debt obligation over the income that you make every single month. So this thing together is help you to understand and build a very strong foundation.
Right. And I feel a big point in what you just said is cash flow, because I feel like when you want to scale your business, you do need that cash in hand in order to, whether that's hire a new employee or buy new software. How would you convince a business owner to save up that reserve cash and then kind of use it sparingly before they get too excited in terms of hiring new people?
Yeah. So I think it's a very hard formula in that part. It's actually, you need to have a formulation. But one of the statistics is say, I think 75% and 90% of the business, small business fail. is not because of the ideas or because anything else, but because of lack of cash flow. And so cash flow with a small business owner is very critical thing, and you always need to take care of it and take it as a priority as well. But building a reserve is very important. Every single dollar that you earn, you need to have the percentage to say for future investment or to keep the basic operation of the company going forward. But of course, that is perfect scenario.
Right.
We realize this business cannot even break even yet to actually can save that money because
That's
you
true.
need to make the profits to basically have the money to stay and build this moving forward. So it's just a lot of formulation in terms of how you map out in terms of operation and in terms of your cash flow that it will help you to navigate in the pitfall areas in terms of you run out of the cash.
Right.
And I mean, that is a model itself. And I don't think that on the podcast, we will like, okay, you have an item X, item Y. This is not going to make sense, but should have a model to say, okay, how you do it by month, by week, and how much this cost will require and how much is your operation revenue will bring in. And that is very require dedicated time to actually build a model on.
Right. Yeah. I think building that model and also reserving cash is such a big step in laying your foundation. Just because when you're scaling your business, it can be super unpredictable. Anything can happen during that time because like, some of this is uncharted territory for your business.
Yeah.
So I think that covers laying the foundation for your business. I want us to move on to the next step. And what is that for us?
I always say a business have a couple of resources. Number one is money, which is the capital.
Right.
Number two is human resource.
Okay.
Whether that is your own talents or it is your team talents. And so hires great people work, especially in startup environment, is very important because they will take a lot of your day-to-day operation to become realities. And in the business, what it is the speed of execution is the most important thing in the business because sometimes you have a great idea, but after 6 months, it's everywhere on the market. It's not going to be, you don't take the advantage of the first adopter on the market anymore. And so the people that work for you and help you to get that speed is very important. To build a team to have execution is absolutely important for the business.
I agree. Yeah, I think the speed is something that not a lot of people think about. And honestly, it's usually kind of hard to measure how fast someone can return the deliverables. But yeah, that's something you definitely should be prioritizing when you're looking for new people and people you trust in as well. I just want to move on to the fact that hiring can be tricky, you know. There's a lot of unanswered questions. Even though you interview someone, you don't know everything about them, right? But how do you know it's the right time to bring in new people?
So it's just require a lot in terms of you need to calculate the time. The time to deliver the thing. And time is fundamental thing in every business that you need to know the time. And because of the time, you understand where's the bottlenecks. That is between the workload, the total time that you need to have to deliver a product or service compared with your ability to deliver it, whether you have enough time. So for example, if it takes you 160 hours to deliver that project to the client, but on your table, you only have a 48 hours. So there need to be some way that you need to calculate how you can reach that 160 hours to deliver the work. If the client wants to deliver in 1 week, it means that you need to have 4 people to do it. But if clients say it's a month, then you probably can do. But of course, you don't need to, you never just only do the deliver work. There will be a ton of other things, administrative, admin, sales, all the other things will tear you down on this part of the running of a business. So that is what it is. You need to understand how long it takes for you to do that work and how much it will require you to finish that work and deliver it in the proper way. And that is where the core of bottlenecks, whether you need to hire someone to come in, take your administrative work away, or is this you have someone to come in, take half of your delivery time. That is where you decided that
When
you
to hire someone.
want. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think on the other end of the spectrum as well. So right now we're talking about the bottleneck of it, not having enough staff to begin with.
Yeah.
But I think on the other spectrum, some businesses can be a little excited when it comes to growing.
Yeah.
So I think overhiring is a very real fear for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I just want you to dive into that a little bit and how that can be a problem as well.
Yeah, because if you look at the profit and loss, any company, the big chunk of their spending actually in the payroll is spent. That is human resource. Of course, we love our staff, the people we work with. There's nothing like dehumanized in the way that we need human resource to help us to deliver or carry the mission for the company.
Right.
But because it's a big chunk in your profit and loss, so if you don't actually carefully map it out, okay, different role and how they play in the whole operation, you will easily to become overhire people. Of course, we don't want everyone just work like a machine, like a computer, but make an estimation. This position, what type of work they do, and how is like map it out into the operation is absolutely important. And that is why I say operational plan is the key for the business. If you don't have a really map out the operational plan, you get into the problem of like overhire people and basically lose the money on the table.
Yeah. And that's why the operational plan is such an important part of laying your foundation as well.
Yeah.
Just having that understanding to begin with is
Yeah.
very important. I think another thing that a lot of people ask about, especially for small businesses, like they don't have enough capital to hire someone full-time right away.
Yeah.
So can you discuss some other options that they can look into?
Yeah, so some of the way that I think some people they use for administrative, they use virtual assistant or they use contractor. So these contractors can work on multiple business. So it's share the cost. You don't need to hire someone full time when you try to scale it. But then the other thing is always you need to find the right time to hire a full-time employee. Because there's nothing. Look, you have someone actually work for you 40 hours per week. They will have more focus and pay attention and more responsive and create more efficient and return on your investment than someone just work part-time.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just having that person like fully focus on your business is very important.
Yeah, it is.
So I think we covered a lot when it comes in terms of building a team. I want us to move on to the next step of scaling your business as well. I feel like this part is one of the more important parts, which is optimizing operations.
Yeah.
Could we dive into that?
Yeah, so I think optimizing operation and which is a part of it is that you understand the customer journey from how they recognize they have a problem until the day that you deliver the work for them. So that is the whole customer journey. And if you understand that, your operation, it needs to support every of these parts of the customer journey. But as you scale the business, you need to have that model to understand, okay, where is the thing that you can use technology or something automatically to help you? Like it's become evergreen that you don't every day go on have a human sitting there to do the work. But some of them will need to have a human to actually convert the client and create this wonderful customer journey experience. And once they have a very great experience with your business, it's always create a recurring client or returning client. And I always look at the whole customer journeys to optimize the operation.
Right. I agree. Yeah. I think just setting up that kind of streamlined method of operation is pretty important.
Yeah.
And having that standardized also helps you when you hire a new employee as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The training part of hiring a new employees is become easier because you have a process how to respond to customer just become so much easier. And so people have a scenario, they don't call you every couple minutes to say, okay, well, customer say this, why should I say this? So that is a part of standardized operation. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, just streamlining that is pretty important. Could you think of any other specific techniques when it comes to optimizing your operations?
Nowadays, it's a lot of technology and tools that support us a lot in terms of operational optimization. For example, if you want to record a video, so then your staff can look at it in the future.
All right.
You can use like Loom to record a video and they screenshot everything on your screen, so then they watch it and they know how to do it in the future. You don't need to repeatedly say what you need to say to your staff.
Yeah.
Is number one. Or you can do a lot of project management tool like Monday, ClickUp. This thing is just help you to manage the workflow and the projects on hand easier. Airtable, Trello, like so many different tools, and it just depends whether like what type of the tool that you want to use. I always think unless you are IT company, that you comfortable with all kind of software. Don't use too much of software, but use something user friendly so that it's not take your staff 2 months on the tool or something like that. It need to be moving fast. So then it just support the workflow. Use something that everyone can understand and can use this quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And that kind of moves us on to our next step as well.
Yeah.
And the part in the process of scaling your business is leveraging technology.
Yeah.
And just knowing when to have technology in order to help you streamline that process of operation, as well as kind of cut down on some hiring more human resources and having tools that everyone can use, you know?
Yeah.
So what would you say are some key things you should think about when choosing like a piece of software for your company?
Yeah, so that's is number one. It's just easy to use, and it does its functions. So, for example, some of our administrative staff always say, "I just cut down the work of administrative traditionally because that nowadays people don't need to call in to book the time anymore. We just can send them a Calendly link." Or any schedule link, and people just select the time that they work and they get the confirmation, go into that inbox and calendar block it. So it's just one of the tools. And then the other thing is, for example, we don't have a lot of paper in our office. Well, even sometimes we make the fun on video that we like have a lot of paper. Exactly, we actually don't have a lot of paper in the office because people just upload the file on and we just use it. So it's cut down a lot of human work and administrative work that requires before we need to have a ton of people just to do administrative and sitting down to do it.
Right.
But this tool that you just have a 2-3 step that your customer, your client, and can use it, and you can use it, and no one have a frustration about the technology too. So that is number 3. And then in terms of finance and accounting, if it's just recurring transaction, you just create an invoice and make it recurring invoice that ultimately is sent out to the client. And this is why I never a fan of tracking the financial in spreadsheet at all because it's just require a lot of your time to do this. You can like create. It's hard to set it up QuickBook or like Zero or Wave or FreshBook, whatever it is, at first time. But after that, everything gets easier because there's so much AI and automation involved with it. So it's just make the thing so much easier.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I feel like this is in our current day and age, if you're not taking advantage of technology and automation, then you're just losing out a lot on money, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
because it's time and you need to hire the people to sit in to do that thing. And nowadays the technology actually can do that. I like to work with people, but I want to have the people to do the work that actually require a lot of their talent and strength and the creativity or something that that's very specialized that technology is not doing more of those things. Almost like now people talk about AI thing,
Yeah.
but we don't talk about that. I always love to work with people and talk with people, but these technologies, they're faster in terms of processing.
And organize as well, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's super important.
Yeah, you don't have paperwork or anything everywhere. It just makes you less stressed and
Yeah. I feel that's one of my favorite part about technology is that the organization is just kind of automatic. Clients, you can keep track of them very easily in just a few click of buttons. So those are super helpful. And it kind of helps out our administrator as well
yeah.
in terms of workload. And then they can focus more on important stuff like drafting up engagement letters or stuff that requires actual human resources.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So one of our administrative staff, see, when she just started, she said, Fiona, I couldn't believe, I thought I come here, people were sitting, row, waiting, and then people were calling into book record, everything just chaotic and busy. But when I came to your office, there's nothing that looked like chaotic. I said, like, because we we make everything like streamlined. So it's the same thing. If you want to scale your business in a way that is cut a lot of costs in terms of human, but it also create everything organized and it's streamlined and easy for your customer, your client, and also your internal team to go through the work. And day-to-day operation is absolutely important to have a technology in your business.
I agree. Yeah. All right. And then moving on to the final part of our scaling process. And I feel like this part does not get talked about enough. And that's called managing debt.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit and how debt is kind of a big part of your business?
Yeah. So, I mean, we always need capital. For scaling, you always need capital. That capital can be from you raising funds to venture capital or private equity or outside investor, or you can borrow the money. And it's financing from the bank or SBA loan or whatever it is we call it debt. And debt is mean that you need to pay it back every single month. Sometimes venture capital or private equity depends on the state of the business. It can be paid back to the investor once a year or something like that. It depends on the structure of the deal.
Right.
But with the financing, normally you need to pay every single month. And so if you use that to scale the business and grow the business, the requirement of payment obligation every single month will be very high.
Right.
And because of that, that can create the burden into your business. And I remember there was client that their interest is spent every single month is $50,000 a month.
My God.
So I remember the client came to me and say, hey, Fiona, why I just pay it last month and now the balance almost the same. I say, because the interest rate is so high, all on the money that you pay into the loan. So the principal is not going down a lot. And it also eat a chunk of your cash flow too. And so, I mean, people always say use leverage or borrow the money to scale. But you need to calculate how much leverage is actually reasonable for your business model too. Otherwise, too much leverage is too much debt.
Yeah. And that is the death of your business almost. This is something that you should be pretty careful on.
Yeah.
Just managing your debt and then trying not to over leverage yourself when you're paying that debt as well. So for businesses that already have debt, what would you say, how should they use it effectively when it comes to leveraging that debt to build credit or just to incentivize their growth as well, borrowing money or using tools, book or budgeting software to help them keep track of this debt as well?
So debt and in any loans is all talking about how much is the interest rate. So if the interest rate is very high, then your interest expense is high, and that's it will eat your cash flow from the operation. So if you have the choice that you can launch something, sell something quick, or bundle something together fast, that you sell it, you create the operational cash flow, it will always so much better than yes, the cash from financing.
Right.
Because cash from financing is actually not from the nature of your business of the result of it. But this is basically you borrow the money, and when you borrow the money, you need to send back the money. But of course, I don't hate debt or anything, but it's all needs to be you build in the model and you analyze this whether, okay, what is the option that actually makes sense for that stage of your business.
Right.
Yeah.
And then for the businesses that are in debt, do you think they should be prioritizing clearing that debt first, or should they just kind of have that slowly pay it back, slowly pay towards it every month, and then kind of saving some cash flow just to continue to scale your business?
Yes, maybe that's also a good option too. If you need to build a reserves so that you can scale your business, then save some for the reserve for your operation for the next 6 months or a year. And then I just pay down the debt every single month. But it also depends a lot on the interest rate. If the interest rate is so high, then one more day, one more month of having the loan is not make any sense at all.
Yeah.
So it depends a lot in those situation too.
That's true. Yeah. So you just got to do what makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all. That's the entire process of scaling your business that we have set up for you. And I hope you are able to implement it into your process as well and then grow your business.
Yeah.
And do you want to close this out, Fiona?
Yes. So based on our conversation, you can see that scaling a business isn't a straightforward formula. 1 plus 1 is 2. And it's just a lot of scenario. And this is a lot of things that we can read a ton of books and watch a ton of videos. People teach all this, but end of the day, business is not the same thing. Not two business will look similar at all.
Right.
But if you put it on the right principle and have the modeling, place the scenarios, and you build as you go, and you make a decision based on the principle, whether we say about debt, about technology, about all this. If you have the principle to help you to make a decision, eventually you will navigate the scaling in the way that is suitable for your goals and your business situation. And there's nothing perfect in the business world at all. If everyone say, "Oh, I'm success on everything I do," I don't believe those people at all. You will fail in the overall of the puzzle of the picture of the business. You may win, but in every single day or every single week, you may fail some small thing. And that is okay too, as long as you don't fail something that will be ruining your business at all. We learn the lesson, and we just need to be coming back and resilience and move forward with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that. That was a really good wrap up.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your time today, and I hope the episode is helpful for you. And we're looking forward to see you in the next couple episodes. Bye-bye.
Bye now.